Number two thing that you do in the beginning. The beginning is a time when you create. Bible says, in the beginning, God. That's my first point. And I said, even before that, because the person that wrote that thing was Moses. So even before the beginning, God is there. Now, we have established the facts, God, or the point, God. The Bible says, God created. Number two thing you need to do in the beginning is creation. Because your God, which is your Father, created. This beginning that we are, this January we are, is a time for you to create your year. It's a time for you to create your career, create your job, create your relationship with God, create your prayer life. It is now. Create your family, create your skills, create your life generally. Creation happens in the beginning, not at the end. When the Bible says, better is the end of a thing than the beginning, it's because it is in the beginning that we created, and at the end we reap what we created. When you don't create anything in the beginning, the end cannot be better. There is foundation for everything. The end cannot be better. So when the Bible says, even thou crownest the year with fatness, it is because in the beginning of the year, there have been something that have happened that made fatness to come at the end. Life is about you give and take. Life is about sowing and reaping. I used to remember, many years ago, many years ago, while we moved to the village for ministry work and all that. So we started doing many things, farming and all that. I used to remember. Now, let me paint a picture for you. Look at this picture. My mom just came back from the market and she bought us stuffs like moi moi, buns, and maybe some of us clothes or something, chin or anything. And we are happy and excited. That was the end point. That was the harvest of our suffering. Let me tell you the suffering. The suffering started from when my mom would go and look for who would give her a farm, a bush to cultivate. That was the beginning. Then we will now follow her with our cutlass to that bush and go and cut the bush. We'll cut bush, we'll cut grass. I mean, not grass, bush, because grass is different. I mean, bush. We are cutting tree. You have to go and remove the leaves, cut the. And it's not this hall. It's like Zion Event Center compound. Not the hall. I mean, including the hall, everything that maybe it might be 6 plots or 10 plots of land that we are trying to farm. So, and there are different days and weeks for each of the levels of this thing. Remember the buns that she bought, and maybe the sandals that she bought. That was harvest. I'm telling you how the sandals came. We are cutting grass. After cutting the wood and the bush and everything, that one might take us like 1 week. We'll come today, we'll come tomorrow, we'll come, all of us, we are going to bush. And then from there, when we are done for that season, next one will come is come and set it on fire. So we'll burn everything. We'll burn the whole bush, gather the leaves, burn everything, pack everything together. The things we burnt, all the trees we burnt became firewood. That's another project. So we'll come and pack the firewoods. Pack the firewoods, arrange them, take them home. Now we have firewood, take them on everything. Then the next point is our holes. I'm talking about this might be next month's project or next week's project. It's not the holes. We'll now start digging the ground. And to put cassava stem. No, before cassava stem, we have to cut the cassava stem first. Start putting the cassava stem. All these things are our routine daily. And it's not in our backyard. Like we used to travel, maybe we have to travel to like Oshodi, where the bush is. And the Oshodi is not main road, it's bush you take and get to Oshodi. Like the Oshodi that we are going to, the road to Oshodi is just like these 2 ties that you will go. If it's bicycle we are using, you are entering forest. Maybe that's what you'll be hearing in those places. And then now we'll go and dig. Sometimes we'll be there throughout the day. We'll have to even carry our own food that we'll eat and all that. We'll go and dig, plant the cassava. Now cassava will start growing. We'll go home, we'll start growing. Before you know it, next 2 weeks or next month, we are back. What are we coming for? We are coming to remove the weeds. You have planted corn, cassava, so weeds are growing too. So we come and that's the most stressful part. I hate that part. My God. You have to just tell it this first. You have to remove the weeds with hose. Remove it. It's not knife, because you have to remove it as if you are doing plastering work. Like you have to be seeing the sand. No grass again. That's how we'll clear that whole. That might take us like 1 week or 2 weeks. And the one you are removing, as you're going to the next one, that one is growing. So we remove that one. That thing happens like 2 times or 3 times for a year. The cassavas are still growing. So you may have to come and remove those weeds like 3 times that year. Now, this thing started in January, the planting. So now, the last set of removing the weeds might be around July. Then before you know it, August, harvest time. The cassavas have grown. We are back again to remove the harvest. Even the harvest is work. So you have to pull. Sometimes you are pulling the yam or you are pulling the cassava. The thing will pull you will fall. So when we remove all those cassavas, as you are removing, you are dropping it in that place, removing other ones. When we are done, you have to now go and pack all of them like a heap. Then we'll start packing it inside the bags. Then load it inside bicycle. Some of us carry on our head and then we move our harvest home. That's the first set of the work. Then when we drop it in home, maybe that day we can sleep. The next day we'll start peeling the cassava. I mean, I've seen this in this life. We have there's one that happened. Even Victor that you are seeing here now that is doing goods by Victor. My mother gave him what was the name of this thing? Egusi. Because Victor was doing the soft work. It was our last born then. And Victor, he was very lazy that time. He was very lazy. Every time he just be like, when are we going to eat? When are we going to eat? When are we going to eat? I see me and Stephen suffering in that bush, doing it. Like I and Stephen will come and do competition, say, first to finish this line. We worked to such a point, we started doing other for other people, and they were paying us. They used to pay us 150, 100 naira to come and plant. See, if people should forget it, I'm not a Jebo pastor. Now, I remember one time my mom even gave Victor egusi because even the egusi, as soft as it is to plant, is not a small work. Because you have to go through all the ridges and all the holes. So you might have only 2 egusi to plant here. You plant another 2 here, another 2 here. That's how you plant this full compound. So I believe Victor must have looked at the whole compound and said, "No, be me." Victor packed everything and put it in one place and buried it. It was when my mom came for harvest, she started crying. We don't know what happened. We don't know what happened. But then, it was harvest time. Now my mom came and say, look what my papa did to me. You could see, he planted everything. Everything spoiled here. My mom cried. She was so bitter about that stuff. And that's how life is most times. Sometimes people are not seeing your planting time. It's harvest who are waiting for you to know what you have planted. Now, when we come back home, we'll peel the cassava. That one is a different work. And why it's very, very painful is that I'm not peeling one cassava. Where it's very painful and discouraging is I'm seeing where I'm going to. The thing is heaping in front of me. And you're just peeling one. You have to say, when will this thing finish? This is why, God hides us in time. God is faithful. Listen, some of you, what you're asking God, show me the way. If God show you the way, you go faint. You go faint. So he's just telling you, just peel one cassava, then you bring the next one, peel this one. Because if he give you the heap, you'll be like, God, no, nah. God, no, how? And that's why I've learned in my life not to look at my tax. Just focus on the one at hand. Because if you look at it, let's say you ask is, what is the time, first of all? God, I beg, I cannot do this thing. You start getting scared. So we'll peel the cassava, after we peel it. Let's say if it's gari you are doing, because if it's gari or fufu, there are different processes. So if it's gari, after peeling the cassava, you now carry it and go and grind. When you get to the grinding factory, you wait for your turn. You wait for your turn. They'll grind the gari for you. After grinding the cassava for you, you will now pack your grinded cassava and come back home. We'll now put it inside a bag. Then forget that now we have machines. That time it was wood. We're living in it. We were Lagos Ajebo children that went to the village and started living happy. What is carnivorous life or carnival people. So we'll put the wood in the cassava that they have grounded. We'll now start pressing. If you see where we are pressing that wood, like maybe 4 or 5 big woods, maybe. We'll not be tying it. So the water will dry up. If you see the struggle, Jesus Christ. So after that thing, you're like, my dad will have to, because my dad and my mom, that is strong. So press it. Water will be from the galley. Everything will be coming out from the galley. Then when it's now so strong, we'll tie it and keep it aside. You might have like 5 of that thing to do because of the amount of your galley. That's one side. Then people go and rest. Then you wait for it for how many days. Sometimes in the morning you come back and you have to tie it again so I to press more. Then when you leave it for many days, it's dry. I'm telling you, the gari you are drinking, if they tell you the process by which you came, then the thing is dry. Then you now go and carry it, bring a filter, and then it's a different work. It's still big, so you take one bunk. It's like ice block. You take one bunk, put it in the filter, and start filtering it to remove the chaff. As you're filtering it, the person that is frying, which you know when the Bible says the furnace of fire of Daniel in Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, and they told the people, that's the fire. It's not gas. So if you see firewood fire, then the person that is frying will frying his own. You are sieving. The person is frying. That's how you see gari. Boom, we're bringing out the gari. Then after that one self. By the time you fry that gari finish, you will sweat, dry up because you are under fire for hours. When you are done, you're gonna say, I don't walk. This is why you want to pick up people who are strong. Go to the village. It's not tangible. Even the village now has been modernized. So now there is machine for even drying of the gari. Just put it there, tie the thing will press the gari down. Life is becoming easy. Life is becoming easy. Thank God for that. Now, after we are done frying the gari, we'll pack the gari, then take the gari to the market for sale. When they now sell the gari that you are coming to buy to drink, maybe people that are selling in Lagos will come to the village there and buy it. That is when those women will now see money. Maybe they bought the gari 5,000 as of then, or 2,000 as of that whole suffering from January. They now bought the gari. Then that's when the woman will see money to buy. Hey, let me now buy chin for Victor, for his work for frying gari. And that's how we now have our sandals for school. The harvest of the hard work. If life is given, if we don't fry that gari, if I go to fufu part, that's another process. Fufu is that one safe. That one is smelling, stressful, heavy. I don't even go there. That thing you just said now it's a different story again. So this is how life is. It's what you give that you can take. Creation. Don't look at the process. Don't look at what you are trying to impute. Focus on. I know that one day there's time for harvest. And guess what, guys? When we are rocking those sandals, eating that bones, we forget about the sorrow. So it made people have a proverb that when you are suffering, it brings good things. That's how life is. You can suffer everything you suffered. The moment you have arrived or you are enjoying that thing, you forget about the suffering and focus on the enjoyment. So focus this year. Creation is the second thing that happens. Create things.